Morning, everyone. It's good to see you here. Hello. Hey, Wesley. Hey, Elliot. Um,
Right.
all I see is Bird J, so I'm not gonna pretend to know your name. Hey, Mahir. Um, all right, guys, let's just wait a few more seconds for everyone else to jump on. It's a really exciting session today, actually. I think you'll get a bunch of benefit from it. Hey, Ed. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Amit. Hey, Harish. Hey, Dale. Hey Zor, hey Reacher, hey everyone. All right, let's get into it. So I'll just start with why is that not working? All right, I'll just start with the disclaimer as per usual. So by continuing on this call, you agree that any information provided by me on this call or any call is provided as general information and for general information purposes only. I have not taken your personal financial circumstances into account when providing the information. The information is not intended to imply any recommendation about any particular financial product or class of financial products and should not be regarded as being intended to have such an influence. The information provided must be verified by you prior to acting or relying on the information by an independent professional advisor, including a legal, financial, or taxation advisor, and the information may not be suitable or applicable to your individual circumstances. Yeah, good morning, Amber, Amil, Subith, good to see you here. Roshan, Ami, Sanjay, Carlo, good to see all and each and every one of you. Thank you for making time for this. All right, so let's get into it. Like I always say, congratulations to everyone who bought properties over the last week. I've, had a pretty steady stream of emails from people saying they've bought properties, so it's great to hear. The purpose of these sessions, if you're new, is to support and guide you through the course so you can get the best results from it. Okay, I think someone is unmuted. Let me just mute them. All right, cool. Um, of course, all my clients are welcome to attend these sessions. So, thank you for attending, or if you're watching the recording, thank you too. You're most welcome to leave your cameras on, but you don't have to. These sessions happen every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which I might remind you is Brisbane time. I always receive a bunch of emails an hour before saying, "Oh, is the meeting starting?" It's like, it's Brisbane time, not Sydney time. So daylight savings is 1 hour difference. And like I always do, I'll just share my screen real quick before we get into everything proper to share with you how two things look like. The first one is the community forum. So let me hit share. All right, you should be able to see that now. This is a community forum, not to be confused with the Facebook page or the Facebook group. So this is what you see when you log into the course. You'll see the course and the community forum. I always encourage you guys, please use this. It's incredibly active. You can see thousands of questions and answers, and posts under each category. It's amazing. You'll probably find that your questions are already answered because if you use the search the community field and put in some keywords, chances are what you're thinking about has already been thought about before in terms of troubleshooting. But nonetheless, if you want, just hit the feed button. And you can just see what other people are asking. Every single question here gets answered by me or Samir within 24 to 48 hours. So it's not just going to go into oblivion. So please do, make the most of it. Uh, and also, as you may recall, there is the frequently asked question reference sheet as part of the download section in each week of the course, which elaborates the most often or most common questions from this forum. So there's a lot of resources here to help you. And the other thing that I want to show you is the wrap-up section of the course, which is after week 6, which is where all of these mentoring recordings are archived. If you just scroll all the way to the bottom, you see last week we did Q&A. Before that, we had Jay take us through how he's rent vesting and bought 6 properties in 12 months. So if you're rent vesting or if you're thinking about rent vesting, might be a good idea to watch that and then perhaps reach out to Jay. You can do that just by using like the @ symbol and then putting in his name in the community forum that I just shared. And that's the beauty of it. Like all these members, there's hundreds of members here in the archive section that have kind of taken the time to share their failures, their successes, their learnings, all that sort of good stuff. And then you can actually reach out to them. So it's not just, opaque. It's not just one-way learning. It can be two-way learning. Imesh took us through how he bought uh, two WA properties in 2 months after four failed offers. So, like I said, the four failed experiences were really instructive for all of us when he did do that. Prashant, how he bought four properties with ease, like in his own words. If you're struggling, you might want to reach out to Prashant or at least watch this session, etc., etc. Reese bought positive cash flow properties with dual occupancy, and they've gone up big time, etc., etc. And last thing I'll talk about on this particular page is every quarter we go through the most interesting suburbs under 500K and over 500K across Australia. So this is the most recent time we did that, which is in August, late August. So if you're new to the course or returning after months or years for your next property, please avail that, and it might steer you in the right direction for you to do your own further due diligence on in a more expedited manner. All right, cool. So today's, the way we'll be doing today, we'll start off with a member deal. You can ask any questions at any time. You can just open up the chat box in Zoom, and if you address a question to me, you can just put my name and like a hyphen and put your question in. Or if you address your question to our guest today, his name is Subith, then you can put his name in and ask him a question, and I'll read out your question for him. You can ask about anything in the course as long as you've done that part of the course. And if you're asking about a particular suburb, try to be specific which factor you're not sure about, because obviously we can't go through every factor. And like I always say, please don't be shy. I'm genuinely here to help you. So, there's really no such thing as a silly question. Please ask lots and lots and lots of questions. If you're thinking it, chances are other people are probably thinking it as well. So please just go ahead and ask it. All right, well, without further ado, let me introduce Subith now. If you would like to hop on the screen, Subith, and unmute yourself if you don't mind. Where are you? All right. Are you there, Subith? All right, there you go. All right, I can see you now. Brilliant. Let me introduce Subith very briefly. So he's based in Darwin. He's a little bit younger than I am. He's 31 years old, and Subith has done tremendously well. He's recently bought four properties, three of which are for himself, one for a friend. And when Subith emailed me, it was a really long email, which I do prefer. I love the long emails from members, and he was just elated. He was over the moon, and so was I. And one of the reasons I was because he's bought these four properties, of course, three for himself, in under 6 months. But in his own words, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Subith, he's not a super, super, super high income earner. He's on a normal wage. He's still been able to accumulate this number of properties, quality properties, really, really quickly. He had, no knowledge before, and he's been able to turn this around really effectively. And now he's, like I said, he bought one for his friend, which is pretty cool. All the properties, I think, if I'm not mistaken, were off market. They were in Rockhampton and Townsville. I think I'm really excited, and I think he's really excited to sort of share his lessons learned, the things perhaps he found difficult, the things that the lessons he can impart upon all of us, so that we can also streamline and make sure that our property investing is as successful as his, or close to it. So without further ado, Subith, I just want to say on behalf of the community, thank you so much for making time. I don't know what time it is actually in Darwin. I don't know the time difference, but thank you for making time this morning.
Thanks for lovely introduction, PK.
Okay, no problem.
It's 7:30. It's 7:30 here now in Darwin. So hi everyone. My name is Subith. I did this course like in 6 months. I got four properties. Really excited. I have no background and all. The course is very simplified, like anyone can understand. Maybe I took couple of times to go through the course just to understand the fundamental. So overall, everything is based on fundamental. You can just do your due diligence and the research, and whatever he teaches is absolutely amazing because you have been seeing like how clients are getting all the good deals, right? So I'll share my presentation. Okay.
Okay, I think I
So
need to enable that. I think you should be able to do that now.
sure, sure, sure.
Oh, nice.
So a journey of a chef to real estate investor with a mindset. So my specialized was Aboriginal bush food, bush cuisine, and now I moved to the real estate. Like I'm planning to pursue my career in this. So so it has been a really tremendous. Like in the 6 month, like I started gaining lots of knowledge, read lots of books, and the most important is like your mindset because I believe like 90% of things are done through the mindset. I changed my circle, talk to the nice, good brokers and good investor friends and all through the community. Actually, they are really successful in the community, and as usual, PK always inspire us, right? So recently he got property in US and 25 million portfolio. So these are the things really inspiring me. All right, guys. So let's start with the first property. So this one I got in Kerwin, Townsville, and I settled in April 2024. So it was a hot market then as well. So this property is basically was 3 bedroom, one study, one bathroom, two car parking, and with a pool. I know people always say don't buy the pool, but I just trade off because in the hot market we slightly trade off because I feel otherwise I'll miss out with some good deal. This was a owner occupied in general. Like so that was my preference to when I buy my first property. Like I want to have a owner occupied because um, the reason when it's a owner occupied, it will be well taken care of most of the time. That's what I have learned. Right. So this one I have bought in April 2024. Purchase was 441 360 and currently rented for 550, and it was exclusively off market by the agent for me. And the insurance currently I'm paying 170 per week, per month, sorry.
Per month.
And if I can, yeah. And the market valuation is 530 to 550 at the moment. So I can see a good growth since April. Like it's 6 months now. It's appreciated almost 80 to 100K now. And settlement, as mentioned, it was in April 2024. So, and it got a pool in it. The picture is actually not the one I used. It's just a AI picture I used
Okay.
because this is the off market and the picture we got is really old, so that's why I don't have the new picture at the moment. But I think they when they advertise this picture, they have a few pictures. And also this picture, this was rented before the settlement only, like kind of because we already had a agreement and all. So
Right, right. Just on the insurance there, if I can ask Subith, $170 a month, which is obviously pretty reasonable. Did you speak with many insurance companies? Did you find there to be a large range in the premium cost? And this was the lowest? I'm just trying to get a gauge because there's often a stigma of insurance costs being really high in Townsville.
exactly, PK. Like as you always mention in the course, also like we have to do this some shopping in the market, right? So I maybe got 5 6 quotes from different insurance provider. So and this one I got really good price, and there were some other prices also. But when I was checking the PDS, the product disclosure statement, so it's very important like when you buy insurance you have to check the PDS statement, like there are different covers and all. You have to understand that before you sign up for any kind of insurance, right? So I find it like a good deal,
Right, right.
under
Makes
2K for a year.
Makes sense. I'm glad that you clarified that that was a AI picture because I was like, I don't know if that looks like a Townsville property. But yeah, it's good to know.
And sure, so I can get you the next one. So next one, yeah, I got at 43 Cherryfield, Gracemere, and it's a four-bedroom. Ah, yeah. Before I jump in that, so I want to add on one thing. So that was a three-bedroom, right? And there was a study room. So I have added a one door. I have consulted with the property manager. She said like you can have a good rental appraisal after you add a sliding door. So I have converted to the four-bedroom now for the
Okay.
Kerwin one, Townsville. All right. Sure. And the second one is at 43 Cherryfield, Gracemere. So that was a new build actually. This is the original picture. So that's a 422 2012, 802 meters square. And I acquired like 472 360. So, and rental appraisal. So when I bought this one, they already had a tenant in place. They had a rental renewal that time. So as a result, it's currently at 500. So I think currently it's you can get 530 to 550 rent from it easily because there's a strong demand in that area. It's Gracemere. And like I bought this in July, right? July end. So currently the market position value is 550 to 570. And again, it's like almost as 80k, 80 to 100k gain in 3 months. So this is one of the good performing at the moment.
Right, right,
And yes, and the insurance very important. So this one, guess like I'm paying $80 only per month with Sure Insurance per month.
right. Yeah, Rocky is much better. It's more sort of central Queensland, so
Hmm.
the premiums are a bit lower. You both of these ones were off market, Subith. I mean, what was your secret? Like, was it just a case of, I know you mentioned it to me in the email, like you were just calling a lot of agents and like that's how you got this off market. How long did it take for you from making the first phone call to, the one of the agents saying that, hey, Subith, here's an off market deal. How long did that process take?
Sure. The first one in the Kerwin, so like you can say like 7 to 8 days I got that one. And it was really quick like because since I actively looking, not like passively, actively looking, I was calling real estate agents like 10 to 15 as much as I don't stick to the top 3 or top 5. I try to call as many because in the hot market 90% chance they are likely they'll not pick up your call or respond to you
Hmm.
or something like that. And the second one, I was in contact with the agent, and she said, like, it's you're the first person, she's telling me. So there was no competition at all for me. That's why, because these properties were selling for 520 that time, easily 520 to 550, I can see from the real estate and all. So when I got it, I know there's no competition. I can have a really good price on it.
Right.
So, and yeah,
So even going in, if they were selling for about 520, then this one was bought by you for 472. So you think that you bought it below sort of market value by roughly $50,000 or thereabouts because it was off market. And how do you start those phone calls just for everyone's benefit, Subit? Like these agents, Townsville, Rockhampton's no different. They're so busy, they get a lot of phone calls from a lot of people, right? Trying to buy property. How do you start it off? What do you say on the phone call that, because all of your properties were off market, so like what's your secret?
yeah, actually, like I was very consistent with calling the sales agent like in the morning. So I plan accordingly. Like what I do the previous night, I put all the people I plan ahead, right? I organized it. I put everything on the speed dialer, like while driving also. So head free, I can just call them, I can just type one and just go call straight away to the sales team. And that way I just keep repeating. So by the time it took me like 30 minutes to drive to go to work. So by the time I make few calls already, like 5-10 calls. And when I'm not driving and all, so best thing is that like you flick a text like, hey, well done, my friend, for new listing or something like that. Hey, I saw that you sold that property, you killing it, something like that. Just very important. Like when we call to in the hot market, just be very, just be friend, like as if like you are appreciating. Everyone loves appreciation, right?
Mhm.
So don't be don't be a pest. Like don't be constantly bothering them all the time. Just be
Mm.
in a nice way. You can ask them, hey, like I make lots of, even it's before they send in the real estate and domain. So uh, I think you can also get them in the website. You can go to their particular website. Sometimes they say coming soon, so I can straight away call. And even Facebook page I follow. And I also do like check their profiles and comment on their real estate, because I feel like they feel really, because you can see like they hardly got 5-10 likes or something. If someone comment and all, so you get lots of attention actually.
Yeah.
So that
Well, that's
that
in this day and age, these things make a difference. Yeah, good call.
Exactly. So because it will be seen by the principal, the sales agent, the BDM. So that's how I make relation. And that's one of the strategy I use.
Nice.
And yeah, you can also saying like, hey, one more thing like I want to add, like when I send them a text, right? I always say when in the morning or afternoon is a good time to speak to you on this. And to start with, I start with, hey, congrats for a new sale on this property, and I really want to appreciate it. And then they will definitely reply, hey, because that day I remember there was one of the principal agent. He hasn't replied me from long time, but I just say, hey, congrats for that. He instantly replied. So you can get a good response, instead of just
Right.
asking. You have to be very, how we say, you have to be a bit friendly also with them. Just try to give them a criteria. Don't ask, hey, I want a property. Just say, what's your criteria? What you looking for? Because when you communicate well, it might click on your head, right? Okay, this guy is looking for this property. I want to help him. So I think they want to help it also, because that way they can have a sell very quick, the properties.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and and the third one, so that was in the July, the Grace Mare, and the third one is one of the friend. So that's in Townsville. So that's Tam O'Shanter. I didn't add the exact address, so because it's not settled yet. So I just
Okay.
took a permission. So that's in Tam O'Shanter. That's 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, two parking, with a pool, 670, and rental appraisal we got 520 to 560. And it's a strong rental market in that area, and settlement is due this week only. So, and I think insurance is around two. So none of the properties are in a flood zone or anything. So as PK always say, like there are plenty of fish in the ocean. So don't be in rush to buy something, because these properties, when I was buying, I was getting maybe 30-40 off market, and some of them, like out of those 10 ticks my boxes, everything out of those, this property I bought. So
Okay.
yeah. Mm. And the last one is in the Kungal. It's Elphinstone Street. So our offer got accepted last week, right? So it's in Kungal, Rockington, and
The ringer.
sorry, we
Go
bought
on.
at
I'll just
really
mute that person.
sure. So we bought that really good price. Like it's a 2 bedroom plus one extra stair. I am planning to convert that, so that will be 3 bedroom and one bathroom and two parking area, I think. So, and I got a rental appraiser 430, and we bought like 339, 360, and it's last week only our offer got accepted. So you can say after I convert that to the third bedroom, I can get 450 around. So and it's really easy to get a tenant because vacancy is, I think, 0.5 or less than 1% at the moment there.
Right,
And
right.
this is 6.5 yield.
Mhm. All of
So
the yields
it's a
that you've
decent.
bought are really strong, and I've noticed that on this one you mentioned, there's a opportunity to create another room. On a previous one you mentioned you could convert a study into a bedroom by putting in a window, etc. What's been your experience like working with property managers? Have they helped you do these conversions or give you advice on these conversions for free, or in the implementation of it? I think you said you already put the sliding door in and like the window. Did they charge a project management fee, or have they just been happy to help you? Because of course you're in Northern Territory, these are in Queensland. So how have you managed that?
Yeah, again, I make a good relation with them, and I always trust a property manager because we are so far from we are buying interstate, right? Always trust a property manager because they are the one who knows which suburb, which street, whatever local due diligence. They are the one who knows. So when she advised me do this one, I just blindly do. Not only that, I asked one property managers, I get a feedback from sometime builders also. I send them pictures and also get a quote. That way I can also work along with them, the property managers. It's not just me working, it's I'm working along with them. So that's why when they asked me like, okay, because the last one, like in Kungal, Rockhampton, it will be 1500. I was really shocked. 1500 I can get like good. I'll get my instantly my money back out of it.
Yeah.
So so I think property managers play a really vital role in your property journey because they are the one who will advise you, guide you, look after your property. So be very good with the property managers. All my property managers, I try to add in a Facebook, comment on their post and everything. That way I can make a good relation, and I can see good impact on it because even I call them like after hours. Not call, actually, I don't want to call some after hours. I flick a text or something, they respond. So I think that's how you can build a relation,
Right, right.
slowly.
Yeah, it just strikes me that you've leveraged your team very expertly, especially given, you mentioned you had zero experience before. So I just want to commend you on that, because oftentimes new investors can feel a little bit it can feel daunting to, manage your conveyancer, the building and past property manager, this per mortgage broker, etc. But it really seems to me that you've like I always say, you've become the captain of your team, and you've made sure that they're all doing the right thing for you, and leveraging them and their expertise. So yeah, I just want to say it's great work.
Yeah, thanks, PK. So everything from your guidance and beautiful community, no doubt, because that's how keeps me motivated. So everything is a mindset for me. Like since I started, so no knowledge and all. You mingle with the good people, talk to even. Um, it's not only just even if I'm not buying. Like for example, I've been exploring all these area. Like PK was mentioning, like Bendigo, Albury, Wodonga, Rockhampton, Keynes, then Mackay, Toowoomba, every places I make a good contacts because in case when I have to buy a properties, if I get really good deal, I'm prepared. So that's what I want to. So because the second I was not prepared to buy in less than 3 months, so I just bought because I found a good deal. So if I get something really good deal, so I will just jump in straight away. So that way, my I'm already ready, to put an
Nice.
offer
On
and
the
all.
front foot, yeah, being very proactive. I'm interested in this slide.
So yeah, I was working as a in like a bush food, aboriginal bush food. That was my specialized before. So, and I was working with aboriginal bush like a kangaroo, crocodile, then the buffalo, emu, camel. So these are the meats, game meats, everything I used to cook. So that was really unexpected journey because I planned to get one property and I was looking for a course and I come across PK's course. And then I was amazed, like how is it even possible buying interstate off market? I have no knowledge. So and so yeah, that's amazing journey. So currently I'm working. I was a team leader before, so in a disability. So then it was a most of the morning shift. So I transitioned to the disability support services now. So that way in the morning I'll have more time, and just working afternoon shift at the moment. So I can make calls, good relation and all. So that's it pretty much, PK.
Right, right.
And what is
Um,
this one? Building a real estate network. Yeah, like I try to consistently outreach them like 20, 30 calls weekly, at least in these hot suburbs, because I remember when I have those people like getting any awards or they are nominated, I flick a text and all, like mortgage broker of the month or something. I flick a text from Facebook, see, and text them. They reply. That's how you make a network, because I want to create a long impression on that. Like they will remember, okay, Subith, there's a guy called Subith and he's very genuine and he's happy to help. And also that way I'm the one first name that comes to his mind would be mine, so that's how I want to build that relation. And yeah, and the strong connection, establish relation in the agents across multiple Australian cities. That's my target. Actually, I want to explore all the cities
mhm,
eventually, like slowly, and I want to explore more LGA by the end of this year, next year. And yeah, I want to mention like these off market were all done. The third one, like Townsville, Turingava, that was done in 2 days since actively looking. So he approached me Monday and he told me like he's looking for property. So I say, yeah, I can help because I bought in Townsville. And in 2 days, like Tuesday, we got this really nice deal and I put an offer straight away. And in 2 days that got accepted. So average, you can say like 7 to 14 days, I was getting these deals and I had no competition because as mentioned like it was exclusively for me. So nowadays
right,
what's happening like even if the off market, right, they are, if your name is in the database, they are sending to at least 150 to 100 people, so it's not kind of off market. So it's already been, and including in that list you have buyers agents and also it's gonna be really tough unless you don't have a really good connection with them, and that's exclusively just for you.
right. And you were
So
able to build those really good connections within 7 to 10 days. One of them 2 days. It's a
yeah, the third one was in 2 days, yes.
okay, okay. Before you go through this last slide, I just want to reiterate, guys, if you have any questions for Subith, please put them in the Zoom chat, and I'll read your question out and ask him. I'm sure you guys will have a bunch of questions. It's really rare that we get an opportunity to to ask active investors what they're doing, especially, he's literally just bought, like he's not even settled one or two properties right now. They're settling this week, so it's very fresh. So yeah, please, I just want to encourage everyone, please take the opportunity to ask him anything and everything that you might want to. Sorry, Subith, go on.
Yes, sure. I think this is the last slide pretty much. So future aspiring investors and goals. Like I'm planning to get a build supportive community who have a knowledge, but they're still time poor. Like even so, I want to help those people who have done the course, but they know everything pretty much, but they're still time poor. Because if you want to make sales call and all, everything has to be in the morning, right? Because most of the time it's morning or either afternoon. By the time you finish your work and everything close like office. So and yeah, I was mentioned as mentioned, like follow their website, and you can also follow their Facebook page and subscribe to their newsletter or something if you have got like once you are in the database, so automatically you'll get notification alerts, and try to email regularly to them like if you are really active, and it depends how serious are you. So they can, because they're getting like 50 10 50 50 to 60 says maybe calls every day, so they'll not remember you. So you can, after just a quick call, I just straight away flick them a text like, hey, it's nice talking to you. So as mentioned, this there's one property, so please let me know when you got a walkthrough video or something. So that way, because they're getting so many calls, so when they try to check your messages in future, maybe after 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, they will say, oh, he messaged, he knows me. So that way they will be able to recollect, right?
Right.
And thanks for the guidance, PK, for mentorship and beautiful community as always. So that makes
Yeah.
everything so
Yeah, no,
lucrative.
no, thank you. I mean, you're the community. You know, you guys are the community. So thank you. I'll ask you two questions from me, and then I'll read everyone's questions out. First question is
Certainly.
first question from me is, you know, we've talked a lot about buying off market and relationships, etc. But on the data side, because you know your background is as a chef and then, you know, as a support, like a disability support worker. So I presume that your background isn't really, you know, steeped in analysis and sort of data and things like that. What was the most difficult thing that you found in the course from a analytics perspective, and I suppose, like, how did you overcome that difficulty?
Sure. So yeah, the course I took like few times I go through the course just to make really good understanding, because everything like fundamental, whatever is in the course, like demand, supply, everything are interrelated, and those are the basic thing, right? Whatever you do in future, even if you do commercial or whatever you do, everything is data oriented, right? For me, and I can really see the results also when the days on the market is low, and you have a stock inventory. All these plays a vital role, right? So yeah, the course I would say I go through a couple of times. If I don't understand, I just Google it, and community, you check in the community what's going on. So that's also you can get a updated thing, and
Right.
yeah, pretty much.
Got it. Got it. And the other thing that I wanted to ask is, you know,
Yeah.
from a serviceability or borrowing capacity perspective, um, you know, did you buy these? I don't know if you're happy to share, but did you buy these in like personal name or like in a
Sure.
trust, or how did you, you know, because you bought many properties quickly, so how did you manage to do that?
So, like, just honestly, my wage is not very high. So, I was working chef, right? So, I start my shift. I can say you have busy chef life is like you start shift at 10 a.m. in the morning. My phone got charged 100%. I finished my work at 10 p.m. I got 2 hours break. And when I come finish my work, I got 98% battery in my phone. So, I have no time to check. So, it was really busy. Then I was checking my borrowing capacity, right? So then I found like, okay, 300, I don't think I'll get anything. So that's the time I thought, okay, I want to give a break to the chef life, and I want to explore a little bit. So I was come across like disability. You can work like multiple jobs also. So I was pretty much doing like 80 hours that time just to get like good saving and all. So I didn't had a like a break and all before. Now it's okay. Now I'm very comfortable. I'm living good life. But before, like 80 hours non-stop working, 3 months, 4 months, so it was a bit challenging. But yeah, those property I bought when I was working 70, 80 hours. So I think
Oh,
it's possible. It's how willing you want to contribute, you know. So I was very laser focused, like, okay, to this is the time I want to work really hard just to get my borrowing capacity, serviceability high. And first one I bought it like under personal name, and rest I got under the trust. So you structure your portfolios, how you want to structure it, like under personal name, like discretionary trust, and also these are very important. So it's very good, like you have a good mortgage broker. So yeah, so the I was working 70, 80 weekly, guys. So not
wow. I
fortnightly
mean,
70. So it was crazy.
you
three
started off
three
you
jobs.
started off by mentioning the mindset side of things, and I generally find when I interview, like our members on these sessions, almost inevitably 100% of them, they credit their success to mindset. And I can see with your mindset, sometimes we can become complacent, if we are on a good wage and we have some time, we can become complacent. We might only make one or two calls to agents, every day, and then, etc. But I really admire and respect and yeah, really humbled by your efforts because you almost shifted your career, your job, just to make this property investing work because you realized that you wouldn't
Exactly.
have serviceability and
Hmm.
you really put in the hard yards and then you got the results. So it really goes to show it's not how much time you have, it's really how much drive you have. That is the key ingredient for success. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're doing things much better
So
than I did them. So well done.
thank you, PK.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was I was very much prepared for the next day. It's Monday, Tuesday, the night before, I was just planning. Okay, these are the. I always take a notes with my pencil, so pen, pencil. While driving, also, I was just making a pause, and I try to recollect when I reach the destination. I just put a quick notes. Okay, so success, 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 fail, fail, fail. I'll try again. Follow, follow, follow. That way, right? Then after that, again, there's a 15 minutes like a morning tea break, then the lunch break, half an hour. So you can even you're busy, you can make, I think, 1 hour. And during transportation, also commute to work, you can also make another 30 minutes. So 30 30 lunch break, 30 minutes, then 15 minutes morning tea, then 15 minutes afternoon tea, something like that. Or you can say smoke break. I don't smoke, so kind of smoke
Yeah.
break you can take. Plenty of time,
Basically,
guys.
time
So
management. Time management
exactly.
is very important. Hey, I'm gonna start taking some questions now. So
Sure,
the
sure.
first question wasn't actually for you, Subith, but I think it's better you answer it. So AS is asking, recently several forums started mentioning Darwin as a place of investment. What are your thoughts on this, PK? So I mean, previously I've actually, I think 2 years ago we had one of our members, Barry, I think his name was. He actually bought in Darwin, and I interviewed him on this session. And so there's been a handful of clients that have bought in Darwin, with kind of higher risk appetites, and it wasn't their first property, etc. But you live there, Subith. What's your, I mean, it seems to me you're a pretty expert property investor now. What are your thoughts on Darwin?
Just learning, PK. So yeah, Darwin, I've been monitoring closely, like days on the market and all. So if you guys know, recently, like 1st of October, they have started some grants and all, first home buyers and all. So and I've spoken to like maybe 50 sales agents here in Darwin. It's a small community, well, 150,000 people in Darwin. So I called to few sales agent. I was trying to asking them. They say like it's improving, but not sure if it's a short term or a long term. But they say days on the market is low. I asked him like, but in the real estate it's showing a bit higher. So why is it that? They say, as you know, like data is always lagging in those core logics and all. So yeah, you can still follow some suburbs are improving like days on market. So still haven't planned to get anything in Darwin. Maybe really good deal or something. I might consider because I think it's one of the only capital city you can buy a property like under 400, under 500 pretty much.
Hmm.
So
Good. It's good to have your thoughts, from a on the ground perspective. Um,
and
oh,
some
yeah.
infrastructure is also happening. Like I know I can see some roads and all coming up, the infrastructure building. There's some projects coming up. I think I share in one of the Facebook page in your post, like the links to follow all these coming up. So
Okay.
showing some good growth actually after recent Liberal Party win over Labour. So
Got
we
it.
can see
Got it.
some changes.
Perfect. Perfect. I think, yeah, there's a lot going for Darwin. It's not somewhere we should rush off to buy. It's, yeah, the longevity of the current momentum is yet to be seen. But for those with a higher risk appetite, you've already got a bunch of properties in your portfolio. It could be a nice little higher risk type move that might pay off.
Exactly.
Um, Next question from Elliot. Really interesting presentation, thanks. With your off-market purchases from the agent, was there negotiation on the price? For example, you managed to get the property at 472,000 versus $520,000 on the market. Like, did you negotiate off-market or did you just pay what they wanted?
Yeah, so like in the hot market, I negotiated, not negotiated, I tried to negotiate the second one, but I know it was way under market that time. So I tried to negotiate 8,000, then 6,000, then finally she said, no, they are not accepting at all. So I tried, but didn't work actually, to be honest. So because I know I can see a good value on the property already, so I don't want to lose the property because it was exclusively, and long term I don't want to make a bad impression. I just back out from deal or something. So because there was no wrong, 2012 build, the second one, and the first one also I think 30-40,000 off market, like a below market price. I think that time it was 464 if I'm not wrong. So again that's 20-30,000 below market value.
Right.
And
Okay, we've got a bunch more, so let's skip through them. Ayesha's asking, can you explain your thinking of buying two properties in one location, one in Gracemere and one in Kungl? It's like, multiple in Rockhampton.
sure, I can see actually I was doing all the data analysis and all, so I still see like there's uh, still lots of potential in that market. That's my opinion, right? So, and I can see some good trends and all in those area. And because that property, the third one, Pungal, I'm planning to get, right? So a rental is 6.5. So it's not a big house or something. So because I'm flexible on it, because first few purchases I was very strict. Okay, I want a brick winner, this that. But third, I have a little bit more risk appetite. So that's why I bit trade off all these things, and I'm
Okay,
comfortable with that.
okay, okay. Um, Vijay's asking, congratulations on your purchases, great deals. Do we need to get permission from the council to convert two-bedroom to three-bedroom? Could you give us some information?
No, actually, pretty much you can always refer to your property managers and the local council. So, until if you're not breaking anything, like I don't think you need any permission and all. That's what was advised by my property manager. And one more thing I want to add, like I was a bit not confident for the like the Kungal property, so I called one proper BDM and I asked her like, can we? I'm not sure like how is the ramp. There was a ramp on it on the property, so I was checking is the slope okay and all. So literally in 10 minutes she went there, took a picture from outside, took a video walkthrough, and she sent me in literally 10 minutes. So that was also that's how they will do for you for free, and it was free obviously. And
Yeah.
when you have a good relation, they will do for you in 10 minutes literally.
It's
So
amazing. Property managers are just like, treasure. They're really worth their weight in gold. And on that point, the next question is, could you please share your initial conversation with property managers? Like how do you start that conversation? How do you share your expectations with them?
yeah, sure. I start with very like a easy going, like a very genuine buyer, and I'm really committed. These are the terms I use. Like I have my pre-approval ready. I think even I don't have my pre-approval ready. It's working on the background, right? So I just tell them like I'm really committed. I'm happy for anything comes up. Please let me know.
This
I've
is
been
with the
looking
property
for some
manager
time.
or the sales agent, Subith?
Sorry, is it? Are you asking about the property manager or
Yeah,
sales
I
agent?
think I think this person KK is asking about property managers, PMs. Yeah, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah, property managers, we can tell them like this is what I'm looking for and this is my invest. You can share your journey also with them. They feel also like they will come to know more about you, right? It's not just about a business relation. I think you have to be you can ask them how's things going, where do you live and all. So I just make a good connection. I know their portfolio, she knows my portfolio. That's how I build relation. I don't want to stick to the email only, so I try to follow them in Facebook also comment. I'm friend with them. So yeah,
Mhm.
because they will help you anything. If you bought it like in the hot market, whenever you bought it, if you flicker last, because those properties I respond really quick, like in less than 1 hour, 2 hours. Those I do my CM everything and put an offer straight away. So in the hot market, very important, you put an offer really fast if you're comfortable. So
Right.
otherwise you'll miss the property. If it's one day, there will be multiple offer scenario. And very important, I put in the email written offer, I always put a timeline as you mentioned. That way they will be, because I remember I put a counter offer for second for that Grace Mayer. She was not accepting the offer. So, and she was asking me over the phone. So I told her, can you, um, I told her, I asked her everything in the email. So in that period, counter offer period, I try not to receive a call, something, because I know they want to sell it higher because they are working
Mm.
for vendor. We have to understand they're not working for the buyers.
Mm.
So that's important.
Okay. Good to know. I did notice that we have a lot of mutual friends now on Facebook. So yeah, you've definitely been reaching out to a lot of people in the industry. Ed is asking, congrats on your purchases. Interested to know how you selected both Thuringova Central and Kungl suburb. Um, he's saying both show that they've grown above 50%. So like when you bought them, did they show that they had grown less than 50%, or what was your kind of perspective on that?
So, you mean the Kerwin? Is it a Kerwin?
Yeah, Thuringowa Central and Kungl.
Oh, okay, okay. No, this was, see, like Touring Goa Central, I think still I follow that 50 mark. It was below 50. And the Kungal, I think average going 464, that mark, like triangulation, if I'm not wrong. So, and I bought it at 339. So I think there's a still growth left for me because it was way under market. So
Yeah,
I can see some growth at least. And
got it. Okay, thanks for sharing. Ash is asking, maybe we'll just do one or two more questions. Ash
sure.
is asking, what, in terms of flood risks, so like how did you assess whether, for example, your Townsville properties were in a flood zone? Did you just go on the flood map from the council, or did you do something else as well?
So I do check flood map firstly, like it's a, so, and after that, just to confirm, call real, you can check with the property managers and also the council and also the insurance. So I just make sure like it's not in the flood zone. Like three, four people, if you call, you get a your confidence, like if it's on the flood or not. So yeah.
Got it. Got it. I assume you didn't use equity from either of these purchases to buy like any of the subsequent ones because they were so closely bought together, so there's probably not enough time to extract any equity yet. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, not at the moment. Maybe let's see in maybe future deals and all. So I'm
Yeah,
not planning to get equity at
yeah.
this moment. So I want it to grow, like mature it nicely.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's plenty of growth. I mean, you shared how comparables were going for almost 100K more for your first couple of properties, but you haven't actually harvested the equity yet. There's a bunch of people saying, can we connect? Yeah, you can connect with Subith on the community forum. You can just tag him on there. Someone asking about flood risk again. Ash, yeah, there was no equity that was used, so it was all deposit, like savings deposit. Um, all right. Yeah, Carlo is sharing their sort of amazement at your achievement. So that's great. Some great questions. Last one here, actually. Anik is asking, do you trade off the age of the house in hot markets, like if they are 1970s to 1980s built? So I know one of them was like 2012 built, but like were any of the others older than you would have liked? And is that something you traded off?
Yeah, actually, I did some trade-off, like because the first one is 84, second 2012, then third one is 80s, I think, and the fourth one is 80s or 90s pretty much. So I did a trade off, but doesn't matter for me. I'm comfortable because as long it's not very old, because when we do the building and pest and all these inspections, so it reveals. And because the older building I find they are really strong brick veneers and all, so I'm comfortable. So
Right,
doesn't
right.
bother me. It's the old properties and all, as long as there's a solid foundation. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to answer the questions directed at me, but insofar as your journey and your story, will wrap it up there, Subith. And like I said before, yeah, it's kind of like a risk in one way, to change your career trajectory, completely different career path, just to improve your borrowing capacity, to improve your serviceability, to then go hard and buy so many properties. But I'm glad you did it, and I'm glad that you've managed to secure so many in a short period of time. I think, more than the tactics and the strategies, I just want everyone to absorb Subit's mood and kind of mindset, because I think that is, and it's not something that can be boxed up and exported en masse, but it's this mindset that if it can rub off onto all of us, then we can also achieve more in the property space, or in the non-property space as well. You were laser focused, you had your goal, and you changed your life situation and your career situation to reverse engineer achieving that goal. And so I think there's something to be said about that, and I'm super excited in to see how your your career or your property career will evolve. I mean, hopefully this is just the start. Of course, you've already built so much equity. Someone's asking a question around your LVR. It was probably pretty high to start with, but with all the immediate or instant equity growth and buying under market value, it's probably, yeah, around 80% or below 80% now. So you've done really, really, really well. And I just want to say thank you for putting your trust in me, and of course for giving back to the community. It's really nice of you.
Sure. Like, if you guys have any question or anything you want to ask me, just you can connect me in the Facebook also. So Subith, Subitheydey. So yeah, we can. I'll happy to answer you guys even in the community forums.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. And this is what the community is all about. So thank you for being a great community member, Subith. And guys, give it Subith a congratulations. Leave him, some encouraging words or something like that in the Zoom chat. And yeah, thank you so much, Subith, once again.
Thank you so much, PK. Thanks everyone.
All right, guys. Well, I feel very elated from that session. I'll just spend the last few minutes going through the questions that were directed at me. So here is one from Richa. They're asking just a quick one regarding signing the property management agreement before the property goes to unconditional state. Is it safe to do so? My property manager is very helpful in doing inspections, and we have negotiated on fees. She is requesting to sign the agreement now after we just went under contract for a Queensland property, wondering if it's safe to do so to keep her happy, and will there be any issue if we have to cancel the contract during the conditional phase? I have always signed agreement after unconditional stage, and hence the confusion. Yeah, I mean, normally what I recommend is get all your ducks in a row, negotiate the fees, the property management fees, etc., between, when you sign the contract and the unconditional phase, and then, formally lock it in, sign the agreement post unconditional. I mean, these days, conditional period is like 14 days. So, you know, I don't think it's such a rush. I don't think you need to be pressured into doing so. But if you think that, if you think that there's going to be no issues, you've got your finance sorted, and there's unlikely to be any building and pest issues, you might just go ahead and do it. Or even if you think that, hey, there's a chance of this deal crashing, just be clear and say, look, happy to sign it now, but just, if the deal does crash, then we'll just go back to the drawing board. So as long as you have that kind of agreement with them, then that's completely fine. I've started the course last week, going through week two. I'm trying to sort suburbs and doing DSR. The demand sale ratio is maximum. Oh yeah, so there's an updated threshold, Amil. So if you, as we mentioned in the welcome email and also the welcome video and also the description in week two, if you have to download the latest suburb selection system PDF, and that has a legend or a key that has the updated threshold. So yeah, that should fix it. Easy fix. Answered that one, answered that one. Guys, if you don't, please avoid direct messaging because, yeah, the idea is that everyone can read the questions as well. Um, Ramiro, hi PK, should we negotiate property management fees before or after asking PM for free purchase inspections on weekends? It seems better before asking for free inspections, but wanted to know your experience with this. Yeah, I mean, I've always had those inspections done first, and then, like I just answered before, had the negotiation on the fees and the management agreement done after you lock in a contract, after there's an exchange of contracts. That's how I've done it, and you just have sort of a gentleman's agreement that you're going to go ahead with them. That's what I teach in the course. There's no need to lock in fees or anything like that before they do your inspections. Um, Roshan, I've been on the course for a couple of weeks now and currently going through week three material. What I've noticed is that WA, Queensland, SA houses have all risen over 30-40% last 36 months. Obviously, it doesn't mean it can't rise further, but there's increased risk of slow, low growth in the coming years. This has led me to mainly focus search on New South Wales, Victoria, houses units. One, at this point of time, would you pretty much ignore Queensland, WA, and SA and focus on New South Wales and Victoria. So I don't think I would because in Queensland, like Subith has just demonstrated, I mean, he hasn't even settled these properties. So there's clearly still much opportunity in Queensland. WA is getting leaner and leaner. You have to have a budget of above 600K to get something in Perth. I think in the August quarterly update, I meant for suburbs, I mentioned maybe half a dozen or a dozen suburbs left in Perth proper, and then there were some others in more regional Victoria. South Australia, Adelaide is out because of, we were buying there a few years ago now. Um, there are some members looking at places like Port Lincoln, etc. But yeah, if you're looking at recovery markets, New South Wales and Victoria are very much those. And your second question, the property deals. TNST, that I mean, the property deals that you share in your emails, are these recent purchases or deals that have been shown in the past 24 months? So in the marketing emails, I assume you mean, those all have the months on them. So normally, my team says, oh, 100K growth in the last 12 months or 150K growth in the last 16 months. So whatever the month figure is, that's how long ago it was bought, because that's what we're saying the growth has been. Um, if you want to know where to invest, go and watch the quarterly updates. Last one was August. Reach out to our members who present on a weekly basis, just like Subith, and just, yeah, do the work. That's the best way to figure out where to invest. Sanjay, me and my wife have our first investment property on our names, bought this couple years back in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. Will this impact our borrowing capacity, our future investment journey through trust? Should we offload this property? What do you suggest? So from a borrowing capacity perspective, I can't answer this question because there's so much more financial detail required to be able to give a proper answer. So mortgage broker is the best for that. In terms of should you offload that property, that I can definitely help with. First thing I'd recommend you do is assess wherever you bought that suburb as per our week two and see what the data looks like. And then once you've done that analysis, if you have questions, you're not sure about something, email me your property and your questions, and then I can sort of give you more personalized guidance on that. MBPK is the ideal time to enter the market in December. I recently took the course, need a week or two to complete it. Is it okay if I subscribe DSR now as I completed
You have a
week
good
two?
day.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely buy property in December. every month is a good time to buy property. There's no such thing as a good or bad time. In fact, December sometimes can be quite opportunistic because people are just looking to finish the year, sell their property, move on, different chapter in January. So sometimes you can get some great deals. So yeah, just go ahead. I must say though, of course we're still in October, but December, January, there is much lower amount of listings. So you might experience some uh, uh, sorry, my train of thought was disrupted by the person who was talking. You might experience more difficulty in buying something quickly.
Yeah, it was like,
Okay, let
yeah,
me remove
all
this
nice.
person. Removed. All right. Um, okay, where are we? All right, last question for me. I'll take this one from Ed. I'm having an issue with suburb selection where I'm flexible in price range. How to best narrow down the search in a way that the price flexibility aspect is most leveraged? Is it a good approach to break it down into price ranges and repeat the analysis? I don't think so. What is the sweet spot in terms of price point where I can maximize benefits? So under 500K is the sweet spot in terms of no sacrificing growth, but maximizing your yield. If you can get under something under 500K, then that's best. Of course, I'm assuming you're not on an income of $2 million a year, in which case under 500K would mean a lot of properties, which you probably don't want. But for the normal person under 500K, also, I would like to focus on long-term growth. However, this aspect is not visible until I get to the town city factors. So I was thinking of narrowing it down based on your very useful high-level overview at the town city level on your recent suburb review sessions in August. Any tips? Yeah, Ed, I would really encourage you. I understand what you're getting at. I really encourage you just to follow the course in the way it's given. Don't go top down, but go bottom up because you can get things wrong going top down. Miss suburbs there might just be one or two suburbs in a town that may not be great, but those suburbs are absolutely flying, or they may absolutely take off. There's markets within markets, as you know. So go bottom up as I teach in the course. And the best way to reduce your long list of suburbs is just narrow down your threshold. So you might say, okay, vacancy, I'm going to take even lower. Price range, I'm going to keep open, but I'm going to maybe take DSR, as a broad brush filter mechanism. And that's all it is. It's not gospel. It's just a filter mechanism. You might want to take it up, a couple of notches to reduce the number of suburbs. That's the way I would do it. But don't start isolating cities or towns because, you might find you want to isolate three suburbs in Bendigo, two in Rockhampton, one in Albury, and if you just go by one city, then you'll miss out on these opportunities. So go bottom up and yeah, perhaps use the DSR to limit your suburbs. Guys, I'm gonna leave it there. It's probably some questions that I didn't get to, probably a few. So if I didn't answer your question, please copy paste and put it in the community forum. I want everyone, like I always say, to get amazing deals. So please ask lots of questions, copy paste that in the community forum, and it will be answered. I want everyone to get fantastic deals. So please ask lots and lots and lots of questions. Please email me if you do get a deal. Please don't interact with me respectfully on Facebook Messenger or the Facebook group, SMS, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, phone calls, etc. Keep it to these sessions, community forum, and the private email address. None of this from me or Subith was professional, financial, or personal advice. Please go back and watch the disclaimer at the start of the session. I want to thank Subith again for a really enlivening discourse, and I'm leaving this very inspired, and I hope everyone is too. Thank you, everyone. Good luck, happy hunting, and have a great day ahead. See you later.
Thanks, people. Thanks, everyone.